Hey there, welcome to my latest studio vlog. It's Monday the 18th of October and it's the afternoon, it's 5 o'clock. I have been at my studio on and off all day. I have been making my eye pillow orders. So my limited edition sweary eye pillows, which I was so happy with how they turned out. I love the flowers on this one the most. I've been making these guys. I've run out of rice though, so I do a rice and organic dried lavender combination. And for the backing fabrics, I'm giving people options. So one of the options is this gorgeous vintage pink fabric. Another option is one of my own design backing fabrics, which is all swirly and doodly. So I've got quite a few of those still to make, but it's home time because I've run out of rice and I'm really tired. Last week it was all happening here. We've just had this wall installed all the way along upstairs on the mezzanine level because we are getting air conditioning. Yeah, it gets hot up here, like an oven hot, sauna hot in summer because we're north facing. The sun literally just comes directly through the concrete regardless of whether the blinds are up or down. So very happy for that to be happening. Expensive, but my plumber, who's a roof plumber who has done our air conditioning downstairs, de-installed a fairly new ducted reverse cycle air conditioner from a house that he said would be perfect for up here because he knows I've been trying to figure out a solution for the cooling for a while before we got to summer. I was literally losing sleep at night thinking about it because upstairs here we've got a full, like all the studios are booked now and none of them have experienced a summer up here, even though I've explained to them it gets really hot. They haven't experienced, and now hopefully they won't have to because the air conditioner is going in. Yes. So that's me today. I'm just here making eye pillows. I did have to go and collect a couple of marketplace purchases for I'm changing downstairs. Let me explain what's happening down there. So this is, how cool is it with the wall? I got these from a seller on Etsy last week. How cute are they? They're little magnets. Okay, so what we are doing down here, these were studio spaces that were being rented out. They haven't been, this was being rented out, but she's just finished up. She's decided to go back to working from home. This one has been vacant. Obviously, we've been in lockdown for the past 3 months with COVID. So obviously I couldn't rent it out to anyone. And it's just got my pre-love stuff that I'm selling on Marketplace. And next to that, you can't see, but it's my workshop area. So what we're gonna do is de-install these studios. So they're just ply panels along the side with these metal structural bracket things holding it up. And then this here, this wall, the plan is, hopefully it works, is to unbolt it from the ground, take out the metal bracket, slide it all the way down so that it butts up against that end studio, and then make that a sectioned off dedicated workshop space with the doors on the front and probably windows. So where that plywood is there now, I'm thinking of taking the plywood out and turning it into a window so people can see through into the workshop space without actually being in there, and then turning this whole section into a pop-up shop, which I will open 3 days a week. And the reason I'm only going to open it 3 days a week is because I have had a shop before. I co-owned with a friend who was a florist, a shop in another industrial estate. And although I loved the experience of meeting all my amazing customers and we built a really great creative community, I felt trapped in a shop because I always wanted a shop and I was like, oh, having a shop will be so awesome. But you can't like just leave if you don't want to be there anymore. You have to stay. So I found it really quite crushing of the spirit and soul and creativity having a shop at times, and I don't want to have to be locked into 6 days a week like I was previously. So I'm only going to open it Thursday, Friday 9:30 till 2:30, and then Saturday 9 till 1, and we're just going to do that for 3 months, see how it goes, and then reassess. What the goal would be is to actually be making enough money from it to pay somebody to work in it a couple of days, so it's not just me doing it. So yeah, that's what's happening. I'm really excited. It would be nice to have a sort of more of a permanent retail space within my studio, but at the same time not having it completely take over my life. And like in my last shop, we had stockists, we offered consignment. Oh, what is that hair doing? So we took a lot of people on consignment or renter space, which was great. We had about 60, I reckon it was at one point, and I was doing all the paperwork and it was so time consuming. So I'm going to do it with some consignment stockists, but probably 5 to 10, no more. Then I'll have my products in there as well as buying some stock in and art and craft supplies as well, because we will have that dedicated workshop area. I want to set up a really cool art and craft supply section down there. So it's all happening. So I've been really busy working all that out in my head and getting all the construction starting to happen for that. But yeah, this week I've got a lot to do. I already had 3 wholesale orders come through today, so very exciting. And I am just going to finish up here, package up the orders that can be posted today, and then head home. And my 14-year-old's making dinner tonight. Yay! Okay, bye. So I'm back in the studio this morning. I bought my rice on the way in, and now I'm just mixing in the organic dry lavender. So my ratio is, honestly, I just eyeball it. I would say it's probably like a 1:5 or 1:8 mix. Like there's a lot more, probably more like 1:10 even. There's a lot more rice than there is lavender, and that is because it does get quite overpowering with the smell if I put too much lavender in. So, and you'd want that weight. The weight of the rice is actually really relaxing. I've just filled those eye pillows and sewn them closed. So now I'm just cutting off the excess thread. So when I do the closing of the eye pillows, I do a double layer and then sort of go back and forth over it just at the end like 3 times so that it doesn't come undone. And then I can just chop off the excess threads at the ends. So this is actually for a wholesale order, a local lady who prefers to pick up her orders, so I don't need to post them. She's ordered 6 of the Relax eye pillows and 6 of the Sleepy Eyes pillows, as well as 6 greeting cards. And the business name is Fantasy Gift Hampers. So she sells all locally made products from the Mornington Peninsula, which is where I live, and then creates beautiful gift hampers, which are available Australia-wide, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, check her out if you're after a gift hamper. It's fantasygifthampers.com.au. I'll put a link down in the description below if you're in Australia and you're after a lovely gift hamper to send to somebody. So I'm just finishing up this order by putting the eye pillow tags on. I just make my tags myself on my printer and then chop them up. A goal for 2022 is to actually start getting the eye pillow tags professionally printed, as I currently do with the wheat bags and mini rice bags. It just makes it so much easier, and they definitely do look a bit more professional. But my favorite saying is done is better than perfect, and I've been using these tags for several years now, since I started making eye pillows actually, and they do the job. They tell you where it's from, what's in them, all that. Now these are my gift cards that she's purchased as well. It says happy birthday you legend. I created that card design on Illustrator featuring my little foxy. That's just what I put on the back of the card. It's always good to put your details on the back. I design my cards in Illustrator as far as setting up to get them print ready. But I think you can use Canva now too. And this company I use, which is a Melbourne-based sustainable printer, they have templates that you can even use on their website to design. And then I just use sustainable 100% recycled envelopes as well. And I do now give my stockists an option. They can have the cards packaged or unpackaged. Some shops still do order them packaged, just with the little, the cello bags to cover them. And I think that's just because where they have their cards on display in their shop, they do have people picking them up and holding them and touching them. So, and especially if there's kids, maybe it's probably they're just more likely to get damaged if they're not in covers in some shops. However, I am finding most of my stockists now actually are choosing the non-packaged option, which is amazing. And when I do a market or event, I also sell them unpackaged. So just reducing waste every chance we get. And because this customer is collecting her order from my studio, I don't really have to box it up or anything. I'm literally just going to wrap it in this craft paper just to protect it, because if I'm not here when she picks it up, I just leave it in a little tub outside and she just grabs it from there. And if you can't tell, I'm trying to package this up with the twine in a way that prevents me from having to use tape. It was very fiddly, but got there in the end. And for my wholesale customers, I tend not to give them a thank you card. I just print their invoice up so that they can check it off as they unpack. And I just usually put a little thank you, love Rondell note on the invoice itself. Next up, I'm working on another wholesale order. So this one is for a brand new stockist from Queensland in Montville, actually. The shop is called Elements at Montville. So very excited to have a brand new stockist in a brand new area on board. She's ordered a few different products, in particular 6 vintage fabric eye pillows. So if you didn't already know, one of the products I sell is vintage fabric eye pillows and wheat bags. So I am a massive vintage fabric addict. I love it so much. I get inspiration for my art from vintage floral fabrics, and I also use the vintage fabric itself to create all kinds of things, but mainly at the moment eye pillows and wheat bags, and people love them. I usually do 2 different fabrics, so one on each side, and I just try and match them up. Quirky color combos. I always try and make sure that I think they match well, and I hope that the people who get them think they match well too. I haven't had any complaints ever, and I've sold them for probably 3 years now like this, or maybe more. So I think I'm doing okay. And I am running quite low on vintage fabric, so definitely need to go shopping and find some more. But sometimes when I'm quiet, I'll pre-cut heaps and then store them in these. I've got a few of those tubs that I just got the fabric out of. Just makes it easier when I do have a few big orders, that I can then just pick them and match up some fabrics and make them quite easily and quickly. One of my goals also for 2022 is to really have lots already pre-made to this point, so where they're sewn and just ready to be filled, because easier to store, and then I like to keep sort of the rice and the wheat as fresh as possible. So happy to fill them when I get an order, but I would like to have the majority of the cutting and sewing already done. It's just another way to sort of become a bit more efficient. So this order has got a mix of vintage fabric eye pillows, as well as my limited edition sweary eye pillows and my relax eye pillows, and it's also got some wheat bags. So I've just finished making the rest of this order, which is a set of 4 different wheat bags. So my teacups, my flourish design, which is the closest to the camera, my black cocky mixed media art one, and my Mr. Foxy. So this is a really interesting mix. I cannot wait to see how these designs go in her shop, and just tagging them up now. It's actually it's illegal in Australia to sell wheat bags or heat packs
without instructions because I think I've said it in a previous vlog, they're actually a fire hazard, so you have to be really careful. So I'm just labeling them all, making sure that they're all labeled. I just use little gold safety pins for my tags on my wheat bags and my eye pillows because it just looks a bit nice. I think it looks a bit nicer than the silver ones. Whenever I finish making a wholesale order, I always have the invoice printed out and just check off everything to make sure that all the quantities are correct, all the designs are correct, everything's ready to go. I also keep a lot of boxes and paper packaging that I receive in orders so that I can then reuse when I'm sending orders out. So for my wholesale orders, I usually use the boxes that my wheat comes in, and then I just line the base and fill with the products. And whenever I have an order that has a mix of eye pillows and wheat bags, I will always separate them with a layer of paper, just because the eye pillows have lavender in and the wheat bags don't, and the lavender smell can be quite overpowering. So I just want to avoid the wheat bags smelling like lavender if I can. Then I pack out the edges because, you know, delivery people can be quite rough with packages. So although these aren't breakable, I don't want them moving around a lot in the box, so I squish them in nice and tight as much as possible. Good morning. It is Sunday morning. I can't believe it. I have not filmed much this week for my vlog because I've basically just been making orders, and I figured there's only so many times you want to watch me making eye pillows and wheat bags. So today I'm going to do my Halloween colouring in that I'm going to upload to my digital Etsy shop and my website. I've just ended up doing the one, so I'm just going to sell it for super cheap, but it's really cute and I really want to get it up there. So that's first on today's list. Now I just have to remember where my little Halloween sketches are in my sketchbook. I'm pretty sure it's in this one, which I did a lot of doodling pages in. This guy here is already up on my, as a digital printable. This butterfly needs to be finished. One day I'll get there. I love this one. I think I've got that as a printable colouring in. This one I was experimenting with coffee for colour. I didn't quite finish it. I think it was a little kids workshop I was doing. These little koalas I love. They are colouring in printables on my digital Etsy shop, and you can get them in a really big file, A1 size, so you can print it really big at your print shop. Actually, a lot of these are in my colouring in PDF ebook, which is available on my website and my digital Etsy shop, Rondell Printables. Now, where are these little Halloween drawings? This is just a little mixed media, do your best. Here they are. So I did a few different pages of Halloween little sketches. This one's a bit creepy, don't really love it. This one is super cute, so I might do something with that, maybe a printable poster or something. And this is my favorite, so the little kitty cat, Halloween cat, I'm going to do as a printable. So I'm going to redo it in Procreate digitally. So I'm just going to photograph the sketch and then pop it into Procreate and just basically trace straight over it. And did you know, I only just figured out the other week that to make the photo that you're tracing over a bit more mild and translucent, you just press the little N on that layer and you can reduce the opacity to half, so it's not so full on. I literally only just found that out the other week. One of my favorite things is creating a drawing on Procreate and then watching back the time lapse. I love it. I don't know why, but it's super fun, super cool. So here's my little time lapse of my Halloween kitty cat. to do the Happy Halloween design that I had in my sketchbook as well. So I think I'm just going to upload this as a printable poster in up to A3 size. So really think these pumpkins super cute. I think next year for Halloween I will be ready to be doing stickers by then, and this would make a super cute sticker. Okay guys, that's the end of this week's vlog. Thank you so much for watching. Excited for next week. I have got lots of fun things to do. Leave a comment below if you've got any questions or would like to say anything, and I hope you're enjoying these vlogs, and I will see you next week.